So beautiful to hear you talk about such a complex subject, right? And it really is a challenge to articulate and translate into a 3D reality, a very non-linear, non-local reality of going back to the ships and other beings that are on other dimensions. And how do our brains try and understand this, begin to try and understand this? So is there any way you could speak to, I want to use the word demystifying. Is there any way to make multidimensional or dimensional realities, is there like a lay person's understanding, how they could try and translate what you're saying to somebody else? User-friendly guide to multidimensionality?
Yes, I think I've got it. So think of it like school, right? So, I like to think of the dimensions of the universe as kind of this ladder that we climb, right? And so we are coming into the physical to have life experience, to learn, to grow, to create, to play. That's what it's all about. And so as we learn and as we grow, then we get to move on to kind of the next level, the next class, or the next grade in school, if you will. So you can kind of think of Earth dimension as maybe middle school, and we're trying to graduate to high school now, and so we've got some other civilizations that have already done that, and we've got some other civilizations that are already in college, and some that are in masters, and some that are getting their PhD, and some that are well beyond that, right? So it's helpful to kind of think about it that way, where it's just this constant progression up this ladder back to source, right? So and I think it's really helpful to have this kind of foundational understanding of our spiritual reality before we even have the conversation about ETs, because if you don't understand how the flow of life experiences and existence works in the universe, it is really difficult to comprehend and understand how this works. So I think it is helpful to understand that we have a spiritual realm reality that is, to us, invisible, and then there is a physical reality, right? So we have a physical reality in the universe, and we have a spiritual reality, and within that physical reality there are all these different levels, and we have different kind of densities, right? So we're in a very dense physical reality here, and again, as we progress up those grades, we get lighter and lighter and lighter until we progress back to a pure light state. So I actually have a map that I have created to help kind of depict this and give a visualization of it, because I'm a very visual person. So for me, it was very helpful to kind of put it on paper, and visualize, well, where does a soul start? And then where might a soul go? And then what happens after that physical life? So I think, if you can just kind of frame it that way, that you're in one grade of the school right now, and some of our star friends are in a different grade, and that's okay. And we're kind of doing this on Earth as like one of those old one-room schools, right, where you had all the grades together. And you might have some old souls who've had a ton of life experiences, that have tons of wisdom at an early age that they shouldn't have. And you might have some new souls, right, that are having this experience for the first time. And when we can see it from that kind of viewpoint, and when we can understand that we're all the same, we're all from the same source, we are all here having a physical life experience, and our souls all have had their own different experiences. It can help us find that compassion, and it can help us understand a little bit more about why it is that we've felt we've been alone, and why we maybe haven't had this contact with the rest of the galaxy, right? Because we haven't been ready. We haven't been ready to graduate to that grade yet.